It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM, and our conversation with Bob Pollock from the Extension Service, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And he joins us from the State Farm Show in Harrisburg. Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you excited?
Sure.
Okay.
Another day.
He had to think about it for a second.
It's Friday.
Uh-huh. And you're at the farm show.
And it seems like the year has hardly ended, and we're just right into it, right off the bat.
Yeah, well, the way the weather is, you should get a lot of people traveling over, if they can handle the turnpike fees, traveling over from western PA to Harrisburg to the farm show.
Well, you don't have to take the turnpike to get here.
Yeah. You could take your life into your hands and get on to 30. You're right. Anyway.
Oh, no. 22. You can go take 22 almost all the way.
Mm-hmm. All right. 12 away from 8 o'clock. And so let's talk about the farm show. You saw the butter sculpture?
Yes, I have.
With the team mascots. That's a pretty lame effort, isn't it?
It looks pretty cool, though.
Does it?
Yeah, they did it. It took some effort to take that 1,000 pounds of leftover butter and sculpt that into those three creatures that are there.
Uh-huh. But folks can see it, and don't worry, that's not what they make you put on your pancakes. You don't chip off a piece of Steely McBeam's nose and put it on your pancakes. They're used for other purposes afterwards. Non-edible purposes. But there's a lot going on at the farm show. You're specifically involved with the Christmas trees, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
that's those entries are for many of the departments. All the entries had to be in by yesterday, and things were all prepped and put in place, and so they're all being judged today. The Christmas trees will also be judged today, but they have until 11 o'clock this morning to bring their entries in. So there was entries that came in yesterday, and with the weather the way it is, I'm sure there'll be the majority of them will come in this morning, and we'll get everything set up and organized by species, and the judge will begin at noon and go from there.
I know that when you go to Harrisburg for the farm show, frequently your truck is loaded down with people giving you their exhibits to take and get them placed in the right categories in Harrisburg. I sort of picture your truck as being sort of like Dr. Doolittle driving it. You've got pigs and sheep and cows in there with you, and all kinds of things happening. That's probably not the way it is, though, huh?
Yeah, not quite. That's quite the image that you're conjuring up, but not quite that bad.
No.
But the closest thing to something living other than me is some plants. I don't have to haul any animals, fortunately.
Which has more life in it? That Christmas cactus you hauled out there, or you?
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping I do.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
So for the week in Harrisburg, the farm show, have you had a chance to walk around and see the setup and notice things that might be a little different this year than last?
Yeah, there are. Of course, things are all in flux, and there's a lot of exhibits and things that will get set up, and a lot of things have already been started, and some people are already done, but everybody will be putting the finishing touches on their displays and their exhibits and things today, because the official opening, of course, is tomorrow morning. The food court does open this evening, and then they have the PA preferred reception, which goes on this evening as well. But the public can come in at least to the food court and entertain themselves there till 9 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow, of course, everything officially opens and be ready to go. Yes, there are some. There's always a few new things that happen. Both in so we were on the food subject. So I guess there's going to be in all the different agricultural organizations. PennAg is one of those, which represents a multitude of different agriculture-related organizations, but one of the things that they will have is a hemp tea.
Oh.
So, of course, production of hemp was legalized this past year in Pennsylvania for certain types of hemp, but evidently this tea will be made with the hemp seed oil. It's not a CBD, but they're taking the industrial hemp seed and crushing that and making oil, and then they're making tea out of that. Mm-hmm. And they'll have several different flavors of that. And the mushroom farmers of Pennsylvania, since Pennsylvania is the number one mushroom production state in the nation, they will have a Philly port sandwich, which is 100% Pennsylvania portobello mushrooms. Now, the one that interested me maybe the most was the fried berry Oreos.
Fried berry Oreos?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how that tastes and looks. Mm-hmm. But fried berry Oreos.
Yeah, bring me back one, will you?
Yeah, we'll see if we can do that. There's cider competitions. This will be the third year for cider. There's been a resurgence of cider production in the state, as well as other places in the country. But and hard cider is part of that. But they established several years ago this cider competition, so people can bring in their ciders that they make, and they'll be judged, and then you can also buy those things. That's something else that's changed in recent years. You could come and look at things, but you maybe couldn't buy them or taste them, and that has become much more.
It's consumer based now, huh?
Yes, really. So you can not only look at these things and see that they exist, but there's competitions around them, as well as you can buy these products. And that's the same thing with craft beer. There were new classes added for those. So there's a whole potato candy.
Okay,
is another new one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of things like that. There's a waterfowl habitat, which is in the poultry exhibit area. They've kind of changed that. It used to be just the chicks going down the slide into the water,
mm-hmm.
and they've kind of gone away from that, and it's a much more educational exhibit about waterfowl and habitat. So that's kind of something that kids as well as adults
there you go
would like to see.
And you get to go down the slide now.
Yeah. You can grab your friendly duck and go.
There you go. That's an image I don't even want to think about. So through the course of the week, for those who've never been to the farm show, there are all kinds of shows and exhibits, and you can think of the county scale or the county fair just upped by about 50% or 100%, because that's really what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, they bus children in, students from various schools. So it's a great place to experience, because if you don't normally see a cow, they have the calving area. So that's where you might, depending on the day you're here, see a calf be born.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all kinds of examples like that that children can see as they go around to experience these live animals, which they probably don't do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So it's really meant to show the breadth and depth of agriculture in this state and everything that goes on. And so there's a lot here to see.
I think one of the interesting aspects about kids is the kids that don't have any farming in their background at all, haven't been around them, see other kids there who are exhibiting their animals, their sheep and their pigs and their steers, and that's probably a real eye-opener for them, that kids their own age are out there working with farm animals.
Yes, Yeah, and there are kids from all over the state here to do just that, and they may exhibit more than one species. Just depends, and they compete. So it's a competition for themselves because they get as the showmanship classes is where the judge judges the individual that's doing the showing, and of course then the animal is also judged compared to all the other animals there, and of course eventually they pick a grand champion and reserve grand champion out of all those particular species, and then those animals then go through the sale, which happens later in the week. So these shows are all staged on different days, so you've got to look at the schedule. But if you just go to PA Farm Show, do a Google or do a search on that, it'll come up, and you can look and see the whole schedule for the week and the times when each of those events occur.
Sounds good. All right. Well, you enjoy your time at the fair. Bring me back an ice cream cone, okay? Just hold it in your hand the whole way across the state.
Yeah, we'll put that on ice.
Yeah, you don't have to. Just hold it in your hand. You'll be good. Thanks, Bob. Have a safe trip back for whenever that might occur.
You're welcome.
Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.